This program is brought to you through the kind support of the Friends of That's What She Said. Support BCTV by visiting bctv.org/support.
It used to be great, now it's not so great, but it's still pretty great. Reading. It used to have lights, then it didn't have lights. New with LED lights. Pagoda. Did they really say that? They did not say that. Yeah, they did say that. That's what she said.
Good evening and welcome to yet another episode of That's What She Said. Sorry, Sheila was just wondering if any of the chocolate that she was eating got smushed on her face, and well, it didn't. She is as usual a pristine, beautiful thing. Well, first, remember you can call us at 610-378-0426 or tweet us. We have our tweeter ready at @she tweets to me. We'd love to hear from you. We have an evening chock full of random topics, but we're going to have a lot of fun. We do want to say, actually, pull out to all of us, please, because we want to say a goodbye to one of our cast members. You'll notice that there are only 3 of us here, 4 of us here, and then there were 4. Ellen Gallagher has decided to move on to other endeavors, and we wish her well and a warm wishes for success in the future.
And
so
thank you for the time.
indeed.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
So we will miss you, but we know you're here in spirit. So if you're watching, goodbye. If you're not, we love you anyway. So here we are. What is this? This is what month are we in? We're in April. It's going so fast.
It's Palindrome Day.
Easter
Palindrome
month.
Day.
It's 4/16/14.
Actually, this whole week is.
It's Palindrome Week. You're right.
Indeed. It's driving all the mathematicians batty. And where did spring go?
Oh,
I
Here
walked-
yesterday.
It was here. Well, it was here briefly yesterday, and then it was sort of out the window by last night, and we had snow, and I'm just
That was
tired of it.
terrible.
And I want to stay in this area, but I don't know that I can take it anymore. So, spring, come our way. But we have, of course, our usual lovely remaining panelists, myself, Jane Street, Sheila, Martha, and Nicole, and...
+1.
+1.
Hole and a half.
Oh, we're all going to take bets on when exactly the baby is going to come.
we're
So
so excited. We're going to be
not soon enough for Nicole.
Not soon enough. June 1st is a due date, so if you want to start the pool.
Oh, right.
All right. And Sheila, I'm told, has a game for us.
I
of some
do.
sort?
I do. Okay, so I saw this awful movie, and well, okay,
That's a good way to
it's
start
a
it.
horror movie. I mean, it was really bloody and disgusting and what have you. But it was called What Would You Rather? And basically the contestants of this game got to choose would you rather do this or that, and the movie was disgusting. But it just got me thinking that maybe we can just play a little game like that. So I've got some questions here.
I've played this before.
Yeah,
It can get dangerous.
It could be, but no, these are fairly safe questions, so nothing too crazy.
Before we start, we do have a tweet.
We do.
Rachel has observed that you've turned into a bunny.
Rachel, I'm celebrating Easter. Nicole helps me celebrate my holidays
right.
now, so
We are
thank
turning
you.
her into a
Proud of
holiday
you.
girl.
I need ideas
Yeah.
for May. What
What's
will I
in
dress?
May?
Oh, Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
You're going to be
Alright.
Cinco de Sheila next month.
That's what's up.
She's going to have fun with that one.
And the Kentucky Derby.
Definitely.
There's a lot.
Maybe I'll just make
big-
an amalgamation.
big old
of
hat.
everything.
Ooh, yeah, she could wear a derby hat.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I'm on it. I got this. I got
Okay.
All right, back to your game.
Back to my game. Okay, so I do have some questions here. I'm just going to throw them out and see, what you guys think about this. Would you rather be a miserable genius or a happy moron?
Happy moron.
Happy moron.
Happy moron?
Yeah.
I think I'll remain a miserable genius.
I'm going to stick with that too. I'm going with Jane. Yeah, I'm going to be a miserable genius. I'd rather have the smart
Ignorance is bliss.
That's it. We wouldn't
It kind
know.
of is. You're right.
We wouldn't know.
Stupid. Too funny. Nice. I love that. Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button in your life?
Oh.
A pause button.
Pause?
Yeah. I don't want to rewind anything. I don't.
No.
I don't think. I want to pause.
I think a rewind button for me.
Rewind?
Yeah, because with the pause button, it's too late.
Yeah, I think I could use the rewind.
Rewind?
Yeah.
How about you, Sheila? You're not committed to
Indeed.
any.
No,
I
she said
would-
she would be the criminal,
The miserable genius.
Oh, would you?
genius.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably rewind.
Would you?
Yeah, I would definitely rewind.
I'm into pause today.
Okay. Would you rather know it all or have it all?
Know it all.
know it all. But we do all. Is that what they call us? Know it all?
That's true.
Have it all.
What's it
know
all?
Like everything you ever wanted. Like have it all, know it all, know
But if you knew it
everything.
all, couldn't you get it all?
Right?
There you go.
I'd rather know it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess
know.
I'd rather know it all.
For sure.
Which contradicts my very first answer.
Right? It does.
See, the further we go, the more layers of the onion get peeled off.
With the rewind button, you can rethink that one.
There,
So we'll
that's
just come
That's
back
right.
to
There you
it.
go.
Would you rather go back in time and meet your ancestors or go into the future to meet your great grandkids?
Oh, neither.
Martha wants to be
Kind
out
of
of
scary
it
in any event.
Can I go backwards and forwards and not meet any family?
all. Just skip everybody.
Can I meet other people?
A new family, perhaps.
I think I would like to meet my ancestors. Actually,
Ancestors?
yeah, I heard so many funny stories about my mother's family that I would like to meet some of those people that did weird things.
That would be kind of fun.
Actually, that's true. I would
Yeah.
like to go back and actually meet my grandfather,
Yeah,
who I never knew.
yeah.
That could be fun.
I'd like to go in the future so if they're messed up, I can fix it.
That's too
Oh,
fun.
you're a good person.
She is a good person. Okay, would you rather have $100,000 of real money or $1 million in Amazon gift cards?
Give me the real money.
Real money.
Yes, real money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that
I
too.
keep losing gift cards. You know, I
Gift
find
cards?
them after they've expired. Or,
Well, if you had the money, you could invest
Yeah,
it.
right.
And, Lord knows we all need something squirreled away for tomorrow.
That's right.
yeah.
Do we? No, I'm just kidding. Because I don't have that.
Says our bank employee.
Says the bank employee who lives like she's loaded, and she's not. But would you rather start your own company or your own religion?
My own company. There's enough
Company.
religion in the world.
Yeah, my own company.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
Company?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think either of those
The
things
Church
appeal
of
to
Sheila.
me. Oh, nobody wants that. You don't want that.
Sheila wants to do her own holiday.
I'll make my own holidays.
Exactly. That's it. You should. We'll get you through this year with the holidays, and then next year
I gotta
you
create
will
my own.
you will create
Create
your
your
own
own.
holiday
Every month.
Every
like
month
that.
we will have
I'm gonna
what
need
is
help,
Sheila's
Nicole.
holiday.
I'm on
You're
it.
gonna have to help me dress for the holidays.
All
I
right.
gotcha.
That'll work. I can do that. Let's see, what else do I have here? Would you rather be a vegetarian forever or be able
Other
to
option.
eat meat, but you have to catch and kill it yourself every time?
Oh, vegetarian. That's a no-brainer for me.
Well, I do a little hunting. So,
Oh, you do?
Really?
I forgot about
so
that.
yes, I've trekked through the forest once or twice. So I think yes,
You would catch and kill your own meat.
yes,
All right. That
Give me
makes
6
Not
months without a
frequently,
steak,
my-
I'm gonna hunt it down.
yes. Not frequently, mind you. I just do
Just
it once
whenever
in a
you're in the
while.
mood.
Exactly.
I get you.
Little peckish for squirrel or something.
Yeah.
I hear that's good in the hot sauce.
I'm going to be
Indeed.
eating salad with Martha
Yeah,
because
We're not going
no,
to be on.
no hunting.
Jamie tells me when he was a child he used to go frog gigging.
Froggy, really?
For the great big guys?
No, small ones.
The little
We have-
squirrely ones.
And they
Well, I have to tell you about the frogs we
Ah.
have behind our house. With the spring rain, the end of our block is a rails to trails. There's a drainage ditch alongside. even at our house, we can hear them peeping. And we went up to see, they're about this long. They are horny frogs. I have to tell you. They are really
they?
amazing, but they're so much fun. There are dozens of them in this drainage ditch.
Well, I know what Jamie's doing this weekend.
Picking
All right.
frogs.
They're
Do you have one last quick one? We have to move on.
Yes, I do. Okay,
Pick your favorite.
I am. I've got one good one here.
No, I'm going to pick the one I like the least.
The one you like the least. They're all good, but would you rather have perfect pictures of every important moment in your lifetime, or have vision 3 times better than average?
Vision 3 times better than average.
Yeah,
I can keep the
Yeah.
pictures in my head.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. I would, yeah.
I'm gonna take the pictures. I have terrible vision. That's what glasses are for. So give me glasses or LASIK
have
surgery
terrible
and give me good
vision, too.
pictures. Yeah.
I think I would take the pictures. I would
Well,
take
there
the
you go.
pictures.
Well, that was.
an
That,
even
I like
split.
that. We should,
That
we should
was fun.
throw in
That
a
was
little
fun.
That
piece
was
of that
fun.
from time to time.
Yeah.
That
We
was
should
fun.
all come up with our own little what would you do's. But now, in our continuing series of finding out what we do when we're not here, I visited Martha at work, and
Right.
we have some little segments of that. So let's take that first trip to visit Martha at Albright. Today we're continuing our wonderful ongoing series of the What's Behind the Ladies. What do they do when they're not at the show? Today we are visiting Martha Richardson at her job. Yeah, tell us a little about your job, Martha.
Well, I'm an adjunct lecturer at Albright College. This is my 9th year. I teach in the education department. I teach 2 or 3 courses each semester. This semester I'm teaching an interdisciplinary course with a sociology professor concerning family and education. And the course that you're going to see in a little while is called Communication Skills for Teachers. And I teach, in that course, I teach professional writing, public speaking, and conferencing skills with parents. Frankly, it's just been a joy. I love teaching Albright. It's a nice college, good students, they're very polite, they're fun to work with, and I'm really happy doing this because teaching's my passion.
Now, because it's me, I have to ask, is there a future for an English major?
Well, I think 8 of the 15 is quite a high number. I think teachers today, any of them, and I tell them, they have to be the best. There can't be any mediocre teachers coming out of any college because we can't afford to have mediocre teachers. Additionally, because so many schools have downsized and laid off teachers, if they bring back those teachers or if they have vacancies, those are the laid off teachers are the first ones to have an option for coming back. So frankly, this is a tough job market right now. We are not in a shortage of teachers, and I think probably English and social studies are the ones that are going to have the hardest job. Science, especially, we're looking for science teachers.
Depending on the state.
Well, depending on the state. But science and math will probably have an easier time getting jobs than the English and social studies people. They must be excellent. They just must be.
Now, what today is? What are you focusing on specifically today?
This half of the semester we're dealing primarily with parent conferencing skills. And so we have a couple other things. We're going to take care of some business before we get into that, but we're going to be talking about some reasons that parents don't like to come to school, don't like to participate in supporting education of their children. They really are the key. They really, all else being equal, parents' encouragement and support can make a huge difference in whether a child succeeds in education, whether they get an education.
All right, I think that's a good precursor. We'll turn this off till we get into the classroom.
Okay, we'll look for you there.
Welcome back to from our little visit to Martha. We'll have a little bit more in coming up. Now, I imagine as a teacher, well, you not necessarily because your classes are later in the day, but you, I imagine, Nicole, get up darned early.
5:30 every morning.
Oh.
Now,
Bless your heart.
I don't know how you do it because we were at our
Loud
usual
alarm.
breakfast meeting. We were talking about because I am a late night person. I've always been a late night person. I will always be a late night person.
Same
no matter
here.
if I've had a job that required me to be at work at 6, I was still up till 2 in the morning. It was. I just went with more makeup on. to cover the bags. But what about you?
Oh, no. No mornings. Not ever. But you know what? It doesn't really matter what time of day I wake up. I will always be miserable for the first 2 hours. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
I don't like to wake up. I can wake up
with
at
you.
5 in the afternoon or
Waking
6
up
in the morning.
is the most horrible thing.
It is. And then it takes me a long time to recover from it.
Yes.
I used to be a late night person. I'm not anymore. I can't sleep. I can't sleep much past 7, and that means I really get tired and I go to bed earlier than I'd like to. But I have to tell you that getting up earlier in the morning, and we get up about 7. We have 2 Labrador retrievers who just are the funniest things in the morning because they need hugs and kisses and snuggles.
They're so happy
and
to see you wake up.
In the morning, they just make it a whole lot easier for me to be a morning person.
Aw.
Yeah.
And you're going to be
And
a
you.
morning person for a long
Well,
time.
yeah, it's shifted for me. I mean, I used to sleep in a little bit, not like my sister who would wake up at the crack of noon, but I can't sleep in past 7:30, even in the summer. And I have this week off for spring break. 7:15, I've been up every morning, and you know, if the cats need something, they are relentless.
Right.
They're not.
Oh.
They're not
Right.
fun like the
Right.
Labrador Retrievers. I have had one lick my eyelid before. That was ridiculous.
Jamie had one of those.
Yeah, that'll
they
be
sit there
nothing
and
compared
smack
to a
you.
screaming child at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, but yeah, and then I'm tired. You know,
10 o'clock, and there's great shows that go on at 10.
10 o'clock. Oh,
I don't see them. Right.
Friday nights after a long week at school, my husband finds me asleep at 8:30 on
Yeah.
the couch downstairs.
Aw.
Gets me up, takes me to bed, tucks me in. And I wake up the next morning, I'm like, thanks, honey.
Yeah.
See, when that happens, rarely it happens, but someone finds me asleep on the couch or something. I don't know, I have random strangers entering my house. They knock, and if no one answers, they just come in and help themselves to a glass of wine or something. But on that occasion, when somebody does do that and they try to wake me up to move me to bed, I am a bear.
Oh, really?
Yes. No,
You don't
I
like to
just-
be moved.
No, no.
Leave
Just-
sleeping Jane.
Are you a napper? Do you take naps?
I don't. I like to sleep.
Yeah.
If I take a nap, it's a good long nap.
Yeah.
It really doesn't qualify as a nap
Not a
any
power
longer.
nap. My
No,
daughter
I
takes
don't know how to-
power naps, and I wish I could do that 20 minutes, and she's just wide
Yeah.
awake, and I'm just really grouchy after 20 minutes.
I don't
Naps.
intentionally nap, but sometimes
Yeah.
I'll doze off for like a minute or two and I'll feel
Yeah.
completely refreshed. But if I
Really?
lay down and try to sleep,
No.
I have never
can't.
felt refreshed from sleep. Even 12 hours, I have never felt
Really?
Oh, really?
refreshed.
I think
I don't know.
A short nap does me wonders. I've even like
Nicole's a
in the
napper.
worst part of the year, we have these in the teachers' lounge. Are these leather couches? I'll put in something to copy and I'll pass out for 5 minutes, and then
you're
someone
okay?
inevitably comes in. I'm like, oh hey, how you doing?
I was waiting for the machine to
Yeah.
finish, that's all.
Let's see, 5 minutes, and I would be out. I couldn't come back up then. It would take me. So that 5 minutes, that's a power nap. That's great.
Yeah, it just sort of jolts you back. And
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Gives you another little bit of time where
Yeah.
you can function.
To me, that's just like getting started. That's
Yeah,
when I'm starting
exactly.
to get sleepy and then I
Yeah.
gotta get up. No.
Right.
Now, and we forgot to ask you about this. What are you're making another scarf?
Another scarf, yeah, just
Look
another
how
fluffy
pretty it
scarf.
is.
Isn't it coming out really pretty?
I like
Oh,
that one.
That is
Pretty,
very
yeah.
wacky on.
It is. And
Those
you know what? I just find fun
That's
yarn and I
really
just keep
fun.
buying it.
Yeah.
I can't stop. Oh, yep, here it is. Pretty.
Really fun.
Those are my kind of colors. I like those.
Yeah, I
Admire
really
her
like this
yarn.
color.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're coming in. Well, you could wear something like that for spring.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
nice
it's
and light
loose,
and,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
loose. I was just going to say, well, we're coming out of the season for wearing things like that, but we're not really. But
It's still cold.
No, 'cause
well,
it's like
of
30
course.
degrees outside.
That's
right now.
true.
Today doesn't count. This week
Yes.
doesn't count.
Theoretically, one day it will be warm, and well, see, this is the problem. I've already planted plants, and then we had the snow. I looked out today. The little lettuces were going okay. Things were just, they weren't happy about it, but I think they have all survived the last night's.
The tulip
Tragedy.
The
trees.
shock.
I think the tulip trees it killed them because we have some on the Kutztown Road driving
really?
in here. They were beautiful 2 days ago, and today they're all brown. So I
that
think the
stinks.
frost really got the tulip trees.
I went to Giant today to get this cute little bunny flower
She's
arrangement,
adorable.
and I noticed there was tons of plants in there, and I said, "Well, what is happening? Are we having a sale?" They said, "Well, Lowe's is right down the row from them, and they brought all their outside flowers in so they don't die."
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so Giant, if you ever go to Giant and they're packed with flowers and plants, it's because there's a hardware store that sells as a garden.
Yeah. I ran to school yesterday because I have, my crop for the Mother's Day
right.
plant sale, and I had all the vents
inside.
open because it was hot over the weekend. I watered everything. I shut all the vents, and I warmed up the greenhouse so they could make it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be too cold
Yeah.
at night. So yeah, you have to be very careful with a young crop like that.
Indeed. And now,
They should make it.
So was this the onion snow? You know the onion snow? Does anyone know the onion snow?
I thought the last snow was the onion
Well,
snow.
I did too, but now we've
maybe
had
this is the rutabaga.
What is onion snow?
It's supposed to be, I guess, the last snow after which you can plant your onions. Isn't that it? Supposed to be? I have no
I
idea.
think so.
I'm not a farmer.
If anyone knows what the onion snow really is,
Call
please
us.
call in
We need help.
Let us
and tell
know.
us. I know we have the technology here, but we'd love to hear from you. That's 610-378-0426. Now, also for this spring, hopefully this won't be frozen out as well. But I'm on a slim down thing because there's some outfits that I have that I'd like to get back into. Is anybody else doing any preparation for spring?
Yeah.
Well,
Nicole's doing her own
Nicole
type of
gets
prep.
prize.
you're producing a child. That's enough.
That's it. That's wonderful.
After that, we'll work on the slim down.
I don't know. I think spring is the time. It's so nice to. I love winter clothes, but after a while they seem so heavy, and putting on the heavy coat, and then, and so it's nice to have well, until today when I was freezing, but it was nice to have thinner clothes, and I don't know, taking off the flannel sheets and putting on the summer sheets, and just. Everything is lighter and airier, and I love that feeling about
almost like
spring.
it's brand new.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's exactly
Different.
that new beginning all over again.
It is. I have random thought. Back to the garden. I have blueberry plants coming, and I want to talk to you about them.
Okay.
Oh,
Sounds good.
Blueberries.
Chat.
Any sage advice?
Don't let the birds eat them. Birds
Yeah,
eat
you wanna-
blueberries.
you
I
wanna
tried
try around them.
The birds will
unsuccessfully.
stay away from my blueberry.
what can you do to keep the birds away from them?
You can net around them. You can put
Oh,
netting
okay.
over.
Butterfly net.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can. It's you can do a simple thing. You can make like almost like a. I don't want to say windrow, but you can just take like PVC piping almost, not PVC. I'm sorry, I can't think straight. You get like that plastic piping that you can sort of make
Yeah, the flexible
like a
piping.
rainbow over, and then you can put the netting over that, and that'll
Okay.
protect them.
What do you think of silver pinwheels? Wouldn't that scare them?
No. And it'll attract
but
small
they're
children
really
to your
pretty.
garden.
No,
Then the kids
they
will
can't
eat
get over
blueberries.
that.
You'll have a pretty garden.
Darn,
Blueberries.
It'll be a lovely garden,
No
and there'll be no blueberries.
Won't they scare the squirrels, though?
No.
Pinwheels,
No.
I guess, are just not frightening things.
Not Redding squirrels. Those things are hard.
They're not scared of anything.
Fine. I'm giving up the idea of pinwheels. I have it from an expert. No one will ever hear me pine for pinwheels in my garden
I mean,
again.
you can try it. Why not try?
No, I've been told it doesn't work. Why would I waste money now? Fine. Sorry. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words. I've never seen Nicole lose it like this.
Pinwheels and the blueberries.
And we have to thank Martha for the chips and the little chocolate eggs. And,
Oh, I especially thank Martha for
Sangria,
the
or
eggs.
drinking sangria tonight.
Perhaps that's it. Oh, no, she's not even drinking sangria.
No, she's drinking.
I'm not drinking sangria.
Well, that's what I meant
Yeah.
by she.
Yes.
You. Her.
Oh, after this kid's out, I'm making up for lost time, people.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I think that I should tell you about this wonderful book I found. when I went to see Nicole's student production of
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, a timeless tale, a tale as old as time.
A song as old as rhyme.
And which was just lovely. The kids did a marvelous job. But outside they had a book sale, and I found this, and I couldn't resist. It's Sheila, country reporter.
From what's the date on that?
Oh, I'll tell you in a moment. Look, isn't it wonderful? And I can't resist a book like this. So what is the date on
I bet
this?
that's from the 60s.
Oh, I think it's 1958.
Oh, look.
So I've decided that possibly on every show, maybe every other show, I will just turn to a... Oh, you know what? I'll just have you call out... Let's see, let's give it to Nicole. Call out a number, and I will just read a passage from that page, because on every page in this book is a gem.
Wisdom? Are we going to
Wisdom, just,
Give him a
just
number.
brilliant writing, and it just moves me how this story captures the life of young Celia, the country reporter, by Laura Vitre. So Nicole, if you could just call out a page from 1 to 210.
21.
Ooh, we're going at the front. 21. Let me find that. Oh, that's perfect. Celia lapsed into silence. She could think of nothing else to say. A one-horse weekly in a one-horse town, that's what you have in a place like this. And this Millie, this farm girl type, no doubt, or she wouldn't be stuck in such a dump. The vision of the Washington Post, a handsome modern building, a great big staff of competent editors, and some modern building, I've said that already, and reporters. A great presses rolling out great news came before her mind. She felt sorry for David Mercer, who seemed intelligent, sorry for herself.
Oh, wow. It's so dramatic.
It
So
is.
much more I want to know now.
Oh, absolutely.
That is from
I can hardly
Celia,
wait till next
girl reporter. Her name is Celia Marcuson,
Of course it is.
and she worked at the. She worked. Ladies, this is serious writing here.
You guys are all flagged up as sangria.
They exchange. I'm going to read another one just for you now. From page 42. They exchanged polite farewells, and then the family was on its way back to Horseshoe Hill. Mumsy looked worried, Grandma a bit stern. And there, on those looks from Mumsy and Grandma, it seems like a perfect time to take a short break while we regroup and recover from Celia, Girl Reporter by Laura Vitre. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
You're watching BCTV.org. Be informed, be involved, be a member. For membership information, go to www.bctv.org/support/membership. For other stories and information, go to bctv.org.
And we are back. We're having such a good time here. I hope you are having a good time at home, too. You ever get into one of those things where you can't stop laughing, and every time you look at somebody else, you just start laughing again? This is what we're having right now. But okay, it's time to be serious. Dry your eyes.
Did you pay a lot of money for that book?
I would have paid a fortune
I'm
for this
sure.
book, but I paid 50 cents.
Oh my goodness, what a deal.
It is worth
What's the deal?
12 times that. And let's see the last time it was taken out of the. It is a donation from the Daniel Boone School Library, and it was last taken out in November 29th of 80.
That's the most popular. Not in the
They went,
bestseller
and said,
list.
they went and said anything that isn't taken out by after 80, we're getting rid of for
All
50
right.
cents. Anyway, we need to get serious here because we have a really serious topic to talk about. A few weeks ago in the local paper, there was an article. Did you have it with? Oh,
No,
oh, okay.
I don't. I'm sorry. That's not the
I
article
have it at
brought.
school.
But it was about pay to play at the local high schools, and actually you're most familiar. So could you explain a little bit about this to us?
So with funding cuts and schools looking for ways to bring in some revenue, a lot of schools in Berks County have gone to pay to play, which is where a student literally has to pay a fee to participate in a club or a sport, things like that. This was enacted this year at Twin Valley, and the policy at Twin Valley is $75 per activity. And at other schools, it's comparable.
And what has the overall effect of this been at Twin Valley?
Massive decrease in student participation in a lot of clubs.
In clubs more than athletics? Has it affected athletics?
I think it's affected both, but I think clubs have taken the harder hit.
And, well, I don't know. It seems, now is that that's $75 per activity?
At this point, it's per activity. There are some different clauses in there that I was taking a look at. For example, if you have multiple students at the high school, I think you max out at a certain amount. And then there's exceptions for low-income families that they can take, and if a student does, I think, up to 3 or 4 things, I think they max out that way too. But there's some different clauses in there, but other than that, it's $75 per thing.
Now this seems very odd to me because when I was a child, we just had activities, and I was in the chorus and the orchestra, and I bought my violin, but I didn't.
Right.
And I had my voice, but
Sorry.
It's those ears, Sheila.
It's the ears.
judgmental in the ears. Anyway, but I'm not familiar at all with this, and it does seem to be a damper on. It seems to make unfortunate choices. You have to choose more rather than being able to go willy-nilly into what all the things that you would like to do.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't teach when I was teaching in public school. Our school didn't have that. I think they brought it in soon after I left that school. So when I heard about this a couple years ago, it was a whole new concept to me, and it made me think about a lot of students that I taught who absolutely were saved and got an education because they had to keep their grades up to stay in activities, and they lived for spring musical, or they lived for football season, or whatever it was, and many of those kids could not have afforded to pay for that. I think also, and this may date me, but when I was in college studying to be a teacher, our philosophy was those were called co-curricular activities, not extracurricular, because they were as important to many children as science, math, and English and social studies. And I still believe that. That's the well-rounded student is the one who participates in activities, and those are the ones who don't drop out of school. And I just think this is really sad that we've come to this.
I mean, part of
Yeah.
that. Sorry.
I was just going to say it's this conundrum that exists because, the schools are faced with these unfortunate decisions, and so they're almost forced to make the decision. So I can't really.
How do they cut the program entirely?
Yeah,
Right.
I can't really look and say, well, you can't do this, because they were between a rock and a hard place. They had to make this decision, and it stinks. But I remember, I haven't been teaching for a long, long time. This is my 10th year, but I remember within my career talking about how do we get kids involved in more extracurriculars. And that was 3 or 4 years ago, because we tried an activity period, during the day,
Right.
to have kids participate in more activities and be more involved and develop this idea of a school community. And now, a couple years later, we're here. And I kind of wish I could go back to that point and say, hey, guess what's down the road? And maybe we need to look forward, what are really our goals for these students? What do we want for them?
Would it be at all possible to say for the Theatre Arts Club or for the FFA? Well, I guess is that considered an extracurricular or?
Yeah, this is where I start to get a little saucy.
We'll get saucy.
So for FFA is a national organization that has a federal charter with the United States.
Tell people exactly what FFA is. There are people out there who...
FFA is, it stood for Future Farmers of America. Okay. Now it's the National FFA organization. And it is an agricultural-based student leadership program. It's fantastic. It, gives away over $2 million in scholarships a year. Students are able to compete and earn degrees and awards and run for state and national office and really become amazing people. And they pay dues to a state and national level to be part of the roster so that they can apply for these things. And it is an organization that's protected by our government. We have a federal charter. It exists. And we are officially named as an intracurricular or co-curricular activity, meaning that what happens in school and out of school are just as important or as equal. So I did make that argument to my administrators. They agreed with me completely that FFA was co-curricular, and they identified a couple other groups like band, drumline at our school, a couple other things in that way too, that what happens in school and out of school are sort of joined together. So we were not counted in that pay-to-play experience, but Theatre Arts Club was.
But so, I guess what led to that was would it be possible to apply for a grant to fund the Theatre Arts Club so that the children wouldn't have to?
Well, here's the interesting thing. Theatre Arts Club has its own treasury. It's a club that has its own treasury, and I am an excellent treasurer for both of the organizations that I run. I mean, we produce a budget for each organization each year, each club, and we run by that budget. And I do budget rundowns for both organizations, and
are the kids able to fundraise? I mean, I just ask it, like my kids are
our musical, part of the stuff that we do for the musical does fundraise our activities for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to do our second annual gala. Gala is paid for by funds from the musical. When kids go on trips, I'm able to give them trips at a lower cost because the budget includes transportation, so they don't have to pay for that. And we do the fall workshop.
That's nice.
And the kids, participate in that on a scholarship. They don't pay for that. So we actually provide our kids a lot of things. But really where that's coming from, that pay to play, is to honestly to pay for the salaries of the advisors.
Well, that might lead into the question. We've had a tweet, two of them actually. We'll get to one of them in a moment. But the question from Becca is, where does the activity fee go? And so I guess
I think that's where it goes. I'm not completely sure, but I think that's where it goes, because my pay for Theatre Arts Club has maintained, but my pay for FFA was cut. Not completely, but it was reduced.
And your workload, of course, has...
Not. It has not.
Well.
But you make that decision as a teacher. Am I doing this for the money, or am I doing this for what I want for my students? And it's what I want for my students.
And I mean, the joy that I found was in being a teacher and sponsoring a co-curricular activity. You get to know the students in an entirely different light. They get to know you in a different role, and it carries back to the classroom. My relationship to them then in the classroom, it was just better. It was just the whole learning situation was
Which is
better.
a perfect segue, because we are going to visit Martha in our second segment of What Does Martha Do When She's Not Here? So, if you roll tape.
Let me get started, and I'll talk to the students and tell you who they are and what we're going to do today. These are some statistics that you need to think about. You need to think seriously about them because they affect all of you. These are some statistics that the United States Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights just released last month. So this is current. First statistic, about 40% of public school districts offer preschool. It is mostly part day only. And I want you to remember that when I give you the next bit of information. Of the school districts that do not operate public ed preschool programs, barely half are available to all students within the district. Secondly, black students represent 18% of preschool enrollment, but 42% of students suspended once, and 48% of students suspended more than once. A quarter of high schools, 25% of high schools with the highest percentage of black and Latino students do not offer Algebra 2. And a third do not have any chemistry classes. Minority students are far more likely to attend schools where 1 out of every 5 teachers does not meet all state requirements. Talk to me. Erica.
I think it's because they're less pay. You don't have to pay them as much. They have no
We
experience.
work cheap when we first start, don't we? That's one thing. What else, Zach?
Nobody else wants to teach there?
Many teachers don't. Why? But you need to tell me why not.
Because, well, it's usually like those school districts in general have lower pay,
And that would mean they have lower,
benefits.
so they have, it's a low, very often inner city schools. So if it's lower pay, how else does that financial situation affect teachers other than for personal reasons?
They don't get the resources that other schools will get, so they have to buy them themselves.
Bigger class sizes, fewer materials, no support or very few support personnel for special education and other learning challenges. What do you suppose unprofessional, acting unprofessional, what would some examples be?
Treating the parent like your best friend, like speaking in a different dialect.
Here, let me give you a seat, yeah.
Or just like being really rude, like rolling your eyes at what they said their student or their kid said about you.
Yes.
Or being like, of course, whoever it was said that or something like that.
I saw a principal one time in a parent conference put his feet up on the desk. That's acting unprofessional. And you know what those things are. So you're always going to model professional behavior. When they raise their voice, you're going to lower yours. You're going to stand even taller. You're going to, and they call you a name, you're going to say, Mr. Bauer. You're going to be you're going to model professional behavior. Okay, and the third one says, and this is hard. This is really the hardest one. Stay focused on the positive. Sometimes you just want to tell them what that kid is in your classroom.
stay focused on the positive. He hasn't been doing his homework. He's been lying to you. He's been lying to me. But in the very beginning of the semester, he did some really good work for me. I know that by working together, we can pull him back up. Stay positive. Well, you've done quite a bit of filming. I'm not sure how much of this we will see, because it's not the whole program. They will show clips of this. So if you're free and you can watch it, I hope you do. Not this Wednesday, next week. I'll remind you that if you do watch it, I'd love to hear what your comments are.
We get extra credit for watching it.
No. Everyone but you, Zach. Because you were nasty to me. See you on Wednesday.
Martha, for allowing us into your other world.
Oh, I love that world.
The students were absolutely wonderful.
They are wonderful. They're really, that's a wonderful group.
It was a treat to be there for
I hope they're watching. They were very excited about possibly watching tonight, unless they're studying for the exam they have next Monday.
Well, that's next Monday. This is tonight.
Yeah, it's only Wednesday.
So we did have another tweet, and I think this gentleman Jason was moved by our reading of Celia Country Reporter by Laura Vittray. He suggests that we have a segment in which we read Craigslist sex ads, which I don't think would go too well on.
No.
But it would be funny.
No.
We'll just go
on air.
We'll just go into a restaurant, to a bar, and do that.
Right.
Anyway, your ears have raised eyebrows all over.
My ears.
Yes.
Ears are perfect. They're wonderful.
Becca thinks you're hot stuff.
Becca, she loves me.
And here we are. It's time for Sheila's surprise topic.
Surprise topic. Okay.
Oh, Sheila.
There's the drum.
Okay. It's actually a question more than anything. My question is, what was the worst job you've ever had?
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, that's easy for me too.
You go ahead.
When I was
You start.
When I was younger, my parents they own apartments that they rent out, and I was their child laborer. Sorry,
You
Mom
got
and
to
Dad.
clean them and stuff, right?
Yeah, and I remember one summer begging my mother, I'm like, please, Mom, please just let me get a job at the mall, please. She's like, no, you're a good worker, you have to work for me. They wouldn't let me get a real job.
Aww.
So I'd have to go into apartments where potentially the tenant was evicted for not paying their rent, which was obviously our fault. So they would leave food out. And this is July. They would leave food out rotting. My favorite was what I called diaper bombs.
Oh,
They'd leave dirty diapers in the middle of floors, and I had to go in and clean, paint, scrub carpets. No air conditioning. It was
Awful.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, but you know what? My parents make up for it now. They spoil me now.
They're sorry.
I love you, Mom and Dad.
Well, I had a job in a mall, and malls were just very young when I had a job in one. I was hired at a certain national, I don't even know that they exist anymore. I guess I see them occasionally in the winter. A purveyor of cheese and sausages that I don't think I'll name. But they set me to making cheese logs. Now this seems like an easy thing, but they give you this 3,000-pound large chunk of cheese, and you have to break it into bits.
Ew.
Now, theoretically, it's set out to because the cheese is frozen. But they set it out overnight so it becomes soft enough for you to handle. Well, they didn't like me, so they kept not setting it out. So I would have to make cheese logs out of frozen cheese. Try it sometimes. It's fun. And the pecans don't stick, and it just turns into a horrible thing, and I was fired there shortly thereafter. Fine. I didn't like them either.
Their loss.
Their loss. You?
Me? You know,
You've had a wonderful life. You've had no.
No, I'll tell you what, the most challenging job I ever had was when it was in college. I got a job as a camp director or a camp counselor. I had never been to camp. So I had never done any camping. So it was all new, and we did overnight hikes, and we did, all sorts of cooking. I loved it. And 2 years later, I was assistant camp director, but it was quite challenging because I couldn't tell any of my campers, I've never done this. I had no idea how you put that tent up.
Since it's your question, quickly, what?
Oh, my worst job? I used to deliver food to patients at a hospital, which sounds like a fun job, right? But when patients are sick and they want, when a heart patient wants pizza instead of what he's getting, and he yells at you, it's not fun. You're not getting pizza, you just had a heart attack.
Great, so yeah.
Well, Jamie's partner, Kirk, is doing a show up in Allentown called Urinetown, which I know nothing about. It sounds very odd, but we'll see. We think we have this remote thing set up well. I think we can connect and talk to him, and other people can hear us. I'm not sure if this will work, but let's see if we can remote to Allentown now. Can you hear me? Kirk, are you there?
Yes, Jane, I hear you. I'm here with, unfortunately you came in during a break, but this is what we can do. We're on break from rehearsal. Here with me, plastered against the glass wall there, I have Miss Pennywise and my daughter Hope. Yes, I'm playing Caldwell B. Cladwell. Oh, that's so wonderful, Kirk. Did you, how's it going? It's going wonderfully, Jane. Actually, could you get them to explain something about Urinetown? I understand it's a sequel to On the Town, and it's a mad romp, and what are those rascals up to? I love a good Robert Goulet vehicle. Whichever one of you wants to take that.
Well, it's not a sequel to On the Town, actually.
Oh, dear.
It's a newer musical. It's about this town full of poor people, and they have to pay to pee due to a water shortage.
Pay to pee? Is it a lot?
It is.
Oh.
Yes, they do what they can.
And who? Go ahead.
Yes, I actually play Pennywise, who I accept the fee, and there's a little plot twist to the show that you must come see the show to see, because you just announced that she's my daughter, but you really don't know that until the end of the show, and you just...
No, I said it was my daughter. Now you've revealed a plot twist. I just revealed that you could come see Urinetown. See how we get there.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that anything else, Jane? Well, why is it so damn noisy there? We're outside because it's dark in the theater, because they're working on some lights. Well, yes. All right then. Tell us when this plays and such. When can we come see you peeing? Oh, there it is, right there. That's delicious.
7 p.m. on Thursday and Friday. Saturdays at 8 p.m.
Oh.
And our Sundays at 2 o'clock. Yes.
And darlings, he was so rude. He introduced you by your character names, but who are you really?
I am Tracy Session.
And I'm Morgan Riley.
Oh, it's so lovely to meet you. You should come down and be on the show sometime. You're fabulous ladies. But I guess we have to get back to the show now. So yes. Thank you for being with us. And Kirk, are you there? Yes, Jane, I'm here. Thank you for coming up, and we'll see you all at Urinetown.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that just worked marvelously. There was lights on them and everything. It was just wonderful. So yes, that's Urinetown. It opens May 2nd and runs through the 18th. You can check it out at www.civictheatrere.com. Well,
that's in Allentown.
It's in Allentown, or A-Town as we call it. But yes, we're going to quickly. What's our time like? 3, 4. We're going to. Ooh, something twittered here. No, it didn't. All right. I don't think we have time to really get into this other thing, so I do want to announce quickly, so I don't forget it, BCTV's Spring Fling Dance Party, which is Wednesday, April 30th, from 7 to 9 at River Edge. You can watch it on BCTV, or you can go and have a fabulous time dancing. I went to their last dance party. Unfortunately, I am otherwise engaged for this one, so I will not be there. But Well, you showed it up on the camera. I don't need it to do it. Anyway, it is a wonderful time, and it's such a good cause. And I urge you to lend your support to this wonderful organization, not because we love being on air, but because it provides a wonderful service for this community.
Absolutely.
And
it's a great time to have a dance. In spring, it's like prom time, and you don't need all the nonsense of prom. You can just go to that. That's great.
Indeed. Well, you can put on a prom dress and go and have some of the nonsense
not all the
of prom.
teenage angst of
Well,
prom,
there's that. And so our next show, just so you know, is on Wednesday, May 21st. We are still deciding what holidays Sheila will celebrate, so you'll have to tune in to check that out. Now, are you going to... You should put those ears on your cat when you try to get...
Good luck.
We'll try, but I don't think he's gonna have it. We'll see. We'll talk about that when I get home.
And since we have enough time, we're going to, and I can do it calmly without rushing there, we're going to thank John, Amber, Joan, and Scott for being with us tonight.
Thank
and
you.
Our wonderful crew here at BCTV, because we love you so much. And I think I'll just do one, I'll do one more. There's applause. Okay,
I want to know what's going on with Mumsy.
Give me a name. Give me a number quickly.
37.
37. Oh my goodness. We're all being in the first. Well, I guess we should start at the very beginning. 37. Talk amongst yourselves while I find 37.
All right.
All right. There we go.
Oh, she's found it.
Oh, it's lots of dialogue on this plate.
Oh.
She went in, and Mumsy was waiting up for her. Did you have a nice time? She asked. Yes, the game was interesting. Her mother smiled. I'm so glad to see you have a little fun, dear, with friends your age. I do so want you to be happy. Fun! Happy! When Celia was in bed, in the dark, the words came back to her. Mumsy would never understand. It was not fun that she wanted. It was something else. Something hard to define, even to herself. Or was it that, like Bill, she was searching for herself down a long and winding road? Celia, country reporter, by Laura Vitre.
Mumsy never understands.
Mumsy.
Doesn't get it.
No,
Mumsy. Well, if you're calling your mother Mumsy, she's not going to understand.
That's right.
Mumsies never understand.
Yeah,
so,
Mumsy.
but we thank you all for joining us. Again, May 21st, same bat channel, same bat time, same batty co-host. We will all be there. Thank you for joining us for another That's What She Said, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.